Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of 1776, Issue 1, 2025. Now, this has a really good cover. It is $4.99, but I overall did not enjoy this one. We will get to this in a minute because there's actually a little bit of comic news I want to get into as well. This is a little bit later, but like Iron Fist Reborn, Lin Lai leads Marvel's greatest martial artist in Deadly Hands of Kunlun, Issue 1. Getting a little of the different kind of Iron Fist together. Major turning point for the character's legacy. Following Lin Lai as he leads Marvel's greatest martial artist against his brother Lin Fang. As the seven heavenly cities fall to demonic invaders, Lin must unite unlikely allies including Elektra, White Tiger, White Fox, Pei, Karnak, and Fu to stand against the oncoming darkness. And that sounds pretty cool. Yeah. Issue 1 of 5. We also get that Marvel reveals Armageddon. Chip Zdarsky launches the next major universe-changing event starting February 2026. Sorry on that. We see fucking Nuke and like Wolverine with Cap Shield. Wolverine, Weapons of Armageddon by Chip Zdarsky and Luca Moresca, a lead-in series to next summer's Armageddon event arrives in February. Let's see. Evidently this is supposed to be a big one since we've seen since Avengers Disassembled. Starts now with key pieces already in motion. Look to Zdarsky and Valerio Shitty's ongoing Captain America run, the aftermath of Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, an upcoming 4-issue limited series Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon arriving in February. It's Wolverine who kicks things off. The hunt for newly abducted mutant subject drags him into the depths of Weapon X's dark legacy, and into the path of the super soldier for hire group Prime Warrior, who has just recruited the fully armed and upgraded Nuke. This marks the first pulse-pounding chapter of what's sure to be the biggest story of the year. Zdarsky says the story's foundation is super soldiers and the Weapon X program. Wolverine is going to kick off the end of everything, he warns. Medina chimes in that this series is a dream come true, packed with fights, designs, and the opportunity to bring Logan's tormented soul to vivid life. Then, of course, we've got some covers here. It's like, ooh. And that'll be a 4-issue series on sale February 18th. We also got some good news that Brian Michael Bendis returns to Marvel for Avengers issue 34, the 800-issue milestone. It's like, ooh, cool. So, and it's going to be Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley. That's pretty cool. Makes his return to the Marvel Universe with that. Let's see. Here. Set on the anniversary of the team's founding, the news story unites the big three, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, for a daring mission against Hydra's newest doomsday weapon. They'll be joined by Avengers past and present for an all-out battle that captures everything fans love about Marvel's premier super team. So that sounds pretty cool. And then Bendis kind of talked a little bit about it, and he made his debut at Avengers issue 500, that he kind of loves the symmetry. And then, of course, working with Bagley, getting him out of retirement and stuff, so that's going to be pretty cool. So definitely looking forward to seeing what goes on there. We also got the surprise that Marvel and DC dropped different kind of crossovers going on their apps. Makes sense. The DC one is DC Marvel The Flash Fantastic Four, and then Marvel did the same thing with Thor Meets Shazam on Marvel's Unlimited. So check those out if you want to and see how that kind of goes. I haven't checked them out yet. We also get that S.H.I.E.L.D. is returning in the next chapter of Zdarsky and Shitty's Captain America. Yeah. Cool. In January. So that's pretty cool. It's like, alright, we'll see what's been going on. We've seen some teases of S.H.I.E.L.D. being done in the Fantastic Four, but we'll see what they're going to be doing here, and we get a kind of look with Nick Fury Jr. and his newly formed version of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is smaller, stealthier, and more morally gray than before, but their secret mission could put them at odds with Cap himself. Let's see. Introduces fresh faces like Joe Ramos, Charles Castlemore, Trevor Tambling, and Red Widow, each with their own motives and loyalty. And we, of course, see a look at what they kind of design look like. Focus, if you please. Going out. There we go. It's like, ooh, cool. That sounds like a very interesting kind of team. So we'll have to see what kind of goes on there. Ooh, what does it stand for? Oh. Let's see here. And those are the main kind of comic news, as well as we also get certain kind of solicitations for the end of the Ultimate Universe. But I kind of just didn't. I kind of wanted to bring those up because I was like, okay, that's interesting. So let us get to the review of this. And the thing is, it's like, okay, this is an interesting premise. We're coming up on the 250th. We'll see kind of how that kind of works out. But this seems more kind of cash grabby to me. It's like, okie dokie. Let me see. Now, at certain points, I'm alright with the art. On other points, I'm like, Let's see. We start at Saratoga, New York, September 19th, 1777. The Battle of Freeman's Farm. And that's like, oh God. And we see Washington kind of having to deal with some shit. General Gates first, yeah. General Gates, message from Colonel Morgan. Good news. Morgan says his company of riflemen have broken through the enemy's rear lines and are circling around to the west to encircle. I'll have my men swing east to provide support. Honesty requires me to admit that I was growing concerned that the day might be lost. But now there is hope, and with hope we may... Sir, look, what in God's name is that? As we see some shit kind of going out, it's like, okie dokie. And then we go to Boston, July 1778. You realize, I trust, that I am not accustomed to evenings such as this, as we pretty much swing in with Ben Franklin. It's like, okay. Or places with such unique ideas of decoration. The ceremony must be conducted on holy ground. Now, I do like how the paneling goes kind of a little bit crazy and wonky, like it's like tilted and shit. It's like, alright. And little of that remains in the world, Mr. Franklin. And if we succeed, and the world around us is no more, what will become of you, Cagliostro? I continue. I always continue. It is what I do. The winds of time and fate hold no terror for me. While that being the case, I should give this to you now while I still can. It is an invitation to the court of King Louis. He will receive you graciously for your work here. And you, are you afraid to die? No. From the day the fight began, I was prepared to give my life if it would serve the cause. And frankly, I'm tired. Tired of running, tired of missing my closest friends, George, Alexander, Payne. God, what a mind he had. An unparalleled sense of humor. All gone now. So yes, I stand ready. Begin the ceremony at your convenience. It has already begun. You have just been too busy talking to notice. Because we cannot risk time and the danger that she who cannot be named will interfere. Hold close your soul, Mr. Franklin. Savor the experience, because win or lose... Let's see here. As we see that kind of going, I was like, okay. Magic circles and shit. There will be, these will be the last moments of your life. It's like, okay. And Franklin's soul's like going out. It's like, alright. So we get to the Sanctum Sanctorum and we see Strange. So you're the Sorcerer Supreme. Yes. I do not know how you passed through the bonds that safeguard my sanctum, but understand that your life is now forfeit. I was told that I wouldn't trigger the defenses because I'm not an enemy. Further, as it happens, I'm not even alive in your time, and I will shortly be dead in my own. Then speak quickly. I have a story to tell, and Cagliostro tells me that you are the only person who could receive it or believe it. Now we shall find out if that is true. Oh, no, you don't. It's like, okay, I've kind of learned more about this sorcerer person. So then we shift to Spidey. Look, we both know you're not getting away and it's late and I have plans for tomorrow that don't involve chasing a stolen car all over Brooklyn. So why don't you just... That's it. A primal scream is just what you need to get the rage out of your system. As Spidey gets like jacked up into like a strange portal. It's like, alright. So then we see Steve, a dude jogging that is Banner, and then Tony. No, and no. I have things to do. I expect flowers and chocolate, or at least an invitation to whatever this party is. I don't like to be pushed, so I'm not going. It's like, okay. I don't really like that for Tony. So, I suppose you're wondering why I called you all here today. Stand away or suffer the consequences. British encampment, upstate New York, September 15th, 1777. This is a British camp. You are not allowed here. How very intimidating you are. Now, I do like how this page is done up. It's like, okie dokie. Alas, I do not have time to parry. It's like, okay. I think you mean Terry? But, alright. Stop. Halt and be, oh. So trouble, go trouble someone else. Thud. Stop where you are, I'll shoot. Are you General John Bourguignon? Also sometimes known as Gentleman Johnny? Gentleman or not, I will put a bullet through your head if you take one more step. Identify yourself. How tiring. You have no idea how often I've been asked that over the centuries. No one seems to remember anyone or anything anymore. I'm Morgan Le Fay, Queen of Shadows, Lady of Avalon, Steward of Merlin, and half-sister to Arthur Pendragon. I've come here to save your life, your title, your position, and your war. Her name is Morgan Le Fay. Now, I do like how Morgan Le Fay is done here. I just really don't like the handling of the characters. Now, her design, I'm like, okay, that definitely seems to be like Morgan Le Fay. Really recalls like 90s kind of level kind of stuff. Now, the main issue we get into the art is sometimes character faces and like, this is decent enough, but then we get, and it seems a little bit rushed for what's kind of going on here for the level of detail, because there's at least a decent level of detail on certain kind of ones, and then other ones it's just like, okay, I don't need complete intricate details. Okay, I understand doing grades of level of detail was like, okie dokie. She's one of the most powerful sorcerers this world has ever known. Also practically immortal. Stark, I believe you've had some interactions with her. Yep, she tried to kill me and Arthur when I got kicked back through time to Camelot. I read that and had that as well, so it's like cool to have that kind of callback. However, he then kind of starts interrupting certain kind of stuff, and I'm like, that's not really how Tony does things, but okay. Like, Tony can do his own kind of stuff and be like, this is my stuff, motherfucker, and then, but he won't, like, just completely go and just interrupt shit that's kind of going on. I like Spidey kind of scratching his head like, alright. Another time was in the present when she tried to possess Lissa Russell, the sister of Jack Russell. There's a guy named for a dog, technically a werewolf, but I stopped her. Yes, you repelled her. Well, I defeated her. I don't know if I repelled her. I like to think that I have a certain native charm. Really? Where do you keep it? As I was saying, Morgan has long been a threat, not just to us, but the whole world, and she's now taken steps to ensure the ultimate defeat of the Avengers and the United States itself. How? By making sure that the British, not the Continental Army, win the war of the American Rebellion. And you, a lone woman, all on your own, have the power to simply hand this victory to me. Yes, I alone. You're quite mad. I've been called worse. I don't have time for delusions. Go away. And if I could prove it, I rather doubt that. Look outside. Sigh. Then will you go? Of course, if you still want me to. There's something I don't understand, Doc, as she's pretty much, does pretty much the Doctor Strange kind of thing. Now, I understand that that's mainly famous for the movie kind of stuff, but like, oh, I'm gonna drop you on a fucking mountain kind of shit. Every time any of us have had anything to do with time travel, the rules have been the same. When we go back, we can make minor changes, but the tidal force of history prevents any major changes. Bruce is correct. We take out one person in a moment, someone else just comes along to replace them. Yes, that is true. When it is someone going back in time, from our position of knowing what happened, we are limited because we are visitors to that time. Now, I kind of like them explaining how the time traveling system kind of works with this kind of thing, and that makes sense. But Morgan is not a visitor because she is immortal, therefore she was and is a part of that time, coming in each moment when it is still malleable when the tides of time have not yet settled. That sounds like it introduces a giant kind of host of problems for certain kind of time traveling things. Since we cannot go back and undo what she does, our only chance is to go back and stop her from helping the British win and changing the future. Question, just to play devil's advocate for a second, would it really be so bad if the British won the war? What about slavery to start? Brits abolished slavery in 1833. Slavery wasn't abolished in the U.S. until 1865. And a lot of people would argue that certain kind of things with the prison system is still kind of slavery. And this kind of page kind of does the example. I'm going back for a minute to showcase how it's like, okay, we had better kind of detailing before, but then it kind of goes a little bit weird, and then we kind of go back here. It's like, okay, we got better facial details here. I can't believe you're actually suggesting this is a good idea. Oh, but a good thing. Good stapling, no loose pages. I'm not. But my job as a scientist is to always look at every possible variable in every possible situation. I mean, look at former colonies like Canada and Australia. They came out okay in the end, but along the way, the British Empire did a lot of awful things, as did the States during the push west. Make no mistake, I'm still in favor of going back and doing this, but I'm just saying that in theory, the Brits winning the Revolutionary War might be more of a lateral move than an up or down situation. Okay, that took a lot of words to kind of get to there, but yeah. In a changed version of history, you might not even exist. That's possible. I might not exist. I might exist, I might not. We don't know. All I do know is that if I don't exist, then I'm paying way too much rent. Except that's not a plan, Bruce. This is her plan. It's like, alright, so that's pretty much going to be like, okay, they won. Let's go and see her actual plan. The problem, of course, is that after you win, the Americans will just go dormant for a few years, then come back fighting for independence all over again. Which makes sense. I do, and then we get better kind of, like, look at that facial detailing, and then we get, like, to here, and it's like, oh, looking like, move. It's like, okay. Could we go back inside the tent? Could we bring the tent back? You'll be fine. Pay attention. This is important. The way you neutralize the threat from the Americans is to ensure there is no America. Instead of states that are part of one nation, divide the continent into 12 separate countries. Like Europe, these countries will be constantly competing with each other. Perhaps you can even provoke a few wars here and there between them just to keep things interesting. Even if some oppose you, they won't have the strength to fight the British Empire, while others will still remain on your side. You'll keep them divided for hundreds of years. That's actually a pretty smart plan. But what are those bits on the western side? They're not on any map I've seen. Not important, stay focused. It's like, okie dokie. Since I must remain in the shadows, you will be the architect of this grand plan. There will be no United States. Well, clearly. No Avengers. Who? No Sorcerer Supreme. Wait, wasn't that you? It will be now. How do we make this happen? Then it's like, okay. Like, she should say, no Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme. Her being the Sorcerer Supreme instead. With the very next battle you fight, with me at your side. You sure of your sources on this, Stephen? My source is impeccable, Bruce. Before the sentence for treason is carried out, is there anything you wish to say, Mr. Franklin? More's the pity. I have served the cause of freedom for as long as my fading memory can recall. If such now be considered treason, then treason it is, and joyfully so. I have no fear, no regrets. Thing is, I'm fine with, like, not delving into, like, Ben Franklin's complete and utter fear of getting syphilis and shit, because he fucked around, man. This is for the, like, oh yeah, he's doing this stuff with the war, but it's like, it really fucking affected his mind and shit, man. It's really weird when you start getting into that. It's like, yeah, these were weird, freaky people, and he liked to fuck. I've always wondered what mysteries await us in life's aftermath. Now, at last, I will discover the answer. In theory, I should thank you for that, but perhaps another time. I bid this shall adieu. Do as you must. We cannot allow this shift in time to become reality, so we must move quickly. As we see Ben Franklin die. It's like, oh shit. Well, we see him get shot at, but not exactly die. The sorcerer Cagliostro in his timeline, and I in ours, have built a tunnel that can allow for the transit between the temporal realities. We are fighting every second to keep the tunnel open, because if it collapses before this is resolved, or if you fail, the moment will be lost forever, and the nation as you know it will cease to exist. So they're pretty much holding it kind of open, so that way the time changes don't happen yet. Wait, you're not coming with us? Which creates one huge problem. If you have to stay here to keep the tunnel open, hey, I've seen that show. To beat Morgan, we'll need someone who can do the whole magic thing while without you, we're screwed. Not at all, Mr. Stark. I believe some of you already know Clea, the Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension. Stephen asked if I could help while he is stuck in the present. Clea is fine here. Like, they don't really go too much into it, and it's just like, okay, I don't like how Tony's handled, and Bruce kind of just feels like the generic kind of scientist kind of thing at this point. Steven at least works within the same kind of realms of what I'm used to, but I'm just like, not really as alright with the kind of character writing overall. Even if I were not forced to remain in this time, Clea would be my choice because Morgan and I have fought before. She knows my moves. She will not know Clea's. Clea does her own kind of shit. Now go. Clea will lead you to my inner sanctum, but shield your eyes and keep your gaze toward the floor. Because there are some forces in the universe that mere mortals were not meant to behold. Did he just call me a mere mortal? And then we kind of go on that. He could have said a lot worse, Junior. Yeah, I would. And I think that was Bruce calling him Junior. But I'm not quite it's not going to, like, Steve, so I'm like, alright. Come on, class, pick it up. First one inside gets a pony. Again, divert your eyes. Seriously, how bad can this be? I do like this. Out of all the art, this Spidey one here really works. I'm like, yeah. And when we get full focus on the Iron Man armor, it's alright. And pretty cool. But the detailing goes a little bit kind of wonka-doo-dah. And then, of course, we're seeing everything. Eep. Eyes front, soldier. Here we go. It's like, okie dokie. So then we pop in, and they're all looking like in period garb, but it's an illusion. Saratoga, New York, September 16th, 1777. Very interesting that it's 1776 and everything that we're doing is in fucking 1777 or 78. And then this is where it gets really kind of weird looking. This faces kind of features kind of change and shift a little bit. Like, Steve looks kind of weird here, and then kind of differently on this page as it kind of goes, but it kind of goes to Clea, and like... Bruce is like, what the fuck? But wait, my Spidey suit, my mask. You can see who I am now. Are you someone famous? No. Will the average New Yorker then or now recognize you on the street? No, but do you know who I am? Well, yeah, you're Steve Rogers. Everybody knows that. Here endeth the lesson. The clothes you wear are illusory and subject to your wishes. You may revert to your uniforms anytime you so will it. Good, because I was about to send you a bill. So where are we? When are we? September 16th, 1777. Saratoga, New York. Wait, the Battle of Saratoga? Yes, 3 days from now. You okay there, Steve? You're looking a little green around the gills. Historians call it the meat grinder. Almost 2,000 killed on both sides, hundreds wounded, nearly 7,000 missing in action, presumed dead or captured. And those numbers applied to an American victory. In the reality that is about to happen, casualties on the American side will be over 10,000 killed. Jesus. And a nation lost. Not on my watch, so unless anyone else wants to step up and take point, here's the plan. It's like, I don't mind no-nonsense Steve, but there's other kind of creators that I kind of like when having their kind of handle on. And then this Hulk just looks... I'm like, alright. I do like the paneling and the red bordering that's going on. And that Iron Man armor looks really good there. Though shit is... Like the... Oh, I'll get it. He's burning through the kind of cloak and everything. Tony, I need you to get to the Capitol in Philadelphia and sound the alarm. There's not enough time to send reinforcements our way, but at least the Continental Congress can start evacuating in case we fail. Because if the British arrest all of Congress, it'll demoralize the troops, cripple the war effort, and the revolution is over. Bruce, with Tony off the grid, we need a scout who can cover a lot of ground in the least amount of time possible. We need to know what the enemy's up to, where they are, and how they plan to attack. As much as possible, try not to draw attention to yourself. So what do we do, Cap? It's like, okay. So then we see that Steve and Pete go on their way. We hoof it and try to link up with American troops. So who's in charge on the American side here? Washington? No. General Horatio Gates. He was a friend of Washington, who got him a job in the Continental Army as an administrator. Gates pushed for command of one of the divisions, got it, and used his position to try and take Washington's place as the head of the army. I believe the correct term is an opportunist, so if we run into him, don't trust anything he says. So who do we trust? Benedict Arnold. No, seriously, I am being. Hold and go no further. It's like, alright. Send a runner to General Gates. Tell him I'm bringing in 2 more spies. To be continued. I'm like, well, okay, but I'm pretty okay there. Then showcasing off the next kind of cover. Now, I don't hate the premise. Morgan Le Fay doing it and everything makes sense. Attempting to rewrite history and all that kind of stuff. I'm fine with the basic premise. It's mainly down to the execution. I'm like, I don't like how Tony's written. Bruce is kind of weird, and I don't know why he's kind of written like he is. I don't like how Straczynski writes Steve and Spidey, mainly Spidey, of going more on the kind of loser kind of aspect of him. I've been liking like Wells' take on Pete and what Kelly's been doing with Pete in The Amazing Spider-Man so far. So it's like, not really my kind of jive with what's going on with them. We didn't really get as much Clea in here, so I don't know how that kind of take is going to be going on, but I'm just alright. It was mainly down to the writing and the inconsistency of the art. This feels more kind of like the cash grab of like, oh, the 250th. I'm like, if you're doing that, do it correctly and plan it out correctly to do that, but okay. This just really isn't for me. If you liked it, that's cool and want to see what's kind of going on, go for it, but I'm alright. So, those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.